breaking news from KXAN News.
An Austin intersection is now back open to traffic after a CAP Metro vehicle rolled over this morning, injuring a number of people.
This all happened in the area of South 1st Street and West William Cannon Drive. That's where KXAN's Nabil Ramanda is joining us now live. And Nabil, we heard that the intersection is now back open, but remind us about what happened there.
Yeah, as you know, this is a very busy intersection, a lot of buses, a lot of people driving through, and you can see here empty now, but about 10:20, a much different scene. There was a van actually from Capital Metro overturned on its side when we pulled up. They were able to tow that away. If we take some video, you can actually see what the scene looked like when we arrived here. AFD was on the scene as well. They tell us that 3 people were transported to the hospitals just out of precaution. They said that all those 3 people were able to walk away, but they did go in to just get checked out to make sure everything was okay. There were 2 people that were inside of that van, and then there was another person in another vehicle. Now, altogether, though, there were 3 vehicles involved in this accident. It's still under investigation at this time. Don't know what exactly happened, but we did talk to some people on the bus stops or at the bus stops, and they were saying that, you know, they've seen accidents on this road here before. It is a busy intersection, as mentioned, and AFD actually saying if you are driving in this area, do take precautions. Don't try to get through those yellow lights, and also watch out for pedestrians. So we are going to try to get some more information on what exactly happened, but at this time, as mentioned, no major injuries, just some precautionary stops to the hospital just to make sure everything was okay.
All right, Nabil Ramanda reporting for us live there in Southwest Austin. Nabil, thank you. The Lake Travis ISD School Board placed Superintendent Paul Norton on leave. The school board deciding to do that last night pending an investigation.
According to the district, the board reviewed a report containing an allegation of misconduct. Now, we do not know what that report entailed. The board discussed it all in a closed session. It did name Assistant Superintendent Pam Sanchez as acting superintendent for the time being. We did reach out to the district for some more information. Later this week, a man on Texas death row could answer questions from state lawmakers.
Yeah, House committee issued another subpoena to hear from Robert Robertson in person. The Texas House committee would like Robertson to testify on Friday. You might remember he was convicted of killing his young daughter more than 20 years ago based on shaken baby syndrome, which state lawmakers are now calling junk science. This new summons follows a decision from the Texas Supreme Court, which ruled that subpoenas cannot interrupt a future execution, but the subpoena can stand if it doesn't delay or block the execution. And right now, states currently regulating sports betting, but legislation in Congress could create a national standard. Yesterday, former NFL player Johnson Batamosi told senators betting is adding pressure to players in and out of the game.
Introduced more stress, new mental health challenges, and has increased the number of threats and incidents of harassment.
Some lawmakers do want to ban bets on individual athletes' performance and banning sports betting companies from advertising during live sporting events. Going in depth on this, in Texas, sports betting is currently illegal, but there have been a lot of efforts to change that. In the last legislative session, the Texas House passed a bill to legalize sports betting, but momentum ended up stopping in the Senate.
First warning weather.
Coming up on 12:04 this afternoon as we take a live look over downtown Austin. And Freddie, I want to say that I think you're on the nice list today because this change in temperatures, this is what I've been wanting for days now. I am tired of the hot temperatures. Give us the sunshine and a little bit of a cool down.
It felt like a couple of days ago I could go out for a jog, I could wear shorts, I'd be fine.
Absolutely.
Lose weight just from even just walking out to my car because of how muggy it was. But take a look now. We have the front that has pushed through, and that is bringing some cooler air and some cooler temperatures. Austin back up to about 63 degrees. That's a change from about an hour ago. We were at 60s. Why? We had the cold air come in. So what's going on? Well, don't forget, we also have sunshine. So that's going to help heat us up just a tad. And then we're right back down again. It's going to be a cold night, but that front now moving through San Antonio, you're able to see clouds and radar clearer skies behind the front itself. This has been a morning in the making as we saw the front come through, really bring us some isolated showers and then pushed out. And that's why we only gave it a 20% chance of rain. This is what's left of the cloud coverage, and it's barely anything, and more out towards LaGrange into the southern part of Lockhart, farther down into Luling, and then that's pretty much it. I don't expect anything else to really come out of that. The winds, though, have stayed pretty consistent. Stronger winds out towards the eastern counties compared to in the metro, where we're seeing wind speeds at around 20 to 25 miles per hour, wind gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour in many spots. Here's a live look out of our Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center right now. That's it. That's the cloud coverage that's leaving us, and we're going to say goodbye to it and see nothing but sunshine over the next few days. So coming up in just moments, we're going to be talking about that front, where it's at now and where it's pushing through, the clearing skies that we're dealing with now, and the cold mornings ahead, because guess what? It's going to be cold. We'll talk about that coming up.
Looking forward to it. All right. Thanks so much, Freddie. Turning now to some other news. The House Ethics Committee is expected to release its report into former Congressman Matt Gaetz.
The committee spent years looking into allegations of sexual misconduct and drug use against Gaetz. Now, Gaetz resigned from the House last month after President-elect Trump nominated him for Attorney General. Then there was a lot of back and forth. Gaetz withdrew his name just days later after details surfaced of testimonies from women who spoke to the committee. Gaetz has since denied any wrongdoing. Well, Congress is still demanding answers from the federal government after a series of drone sightings along the East Coast.
Yeah, a group of lawmakers received a classified briefing. Federal agencies maintain most of the sightings are things like planes and not actual threats. Austin area Congressman Michael McCall says there are a lot of commercial drones in the sky. However, he says he believes the ones spotted near military bases, including some in Ohio, are concerning.
It's pretty good speculation to assume that's coming from an adversary, and I think the best target would be Communist China.
The Pentagon says the military bases should handle the drone sightings on a case-by-case basis. The bill to avert a government shutdown was released with just a few days left before the deadline.
While a lot of lawmakers do seem to be on board with the continuing resolution, there are some who are quite literally fuming over it. Washington correspondent Basil John has the latest.
House Speaker Mike Johnson unveiled the plan, but has met sharp criticism from those within his own party.
It's a total dumpster fire. I think it's garbage.
Am I voting for it? I'm not.
A number of House Republicans were quick to come out and bash House Speaker Mike Johnson's continuing resolution to fund the government into the spring.
This is not the way to do business.
The 1,500-page bipartisan resolution includes $100 billion in disaster aid, a one-year extension to the Farm Bill, and about $10 billion in economic assistance to farmers. Johnson says some things had to be added.
We have to be able to help those who are in these dire straits.
And there isn't much time left, as House leaders are under a time crunch because of the 72-hour rule for members to review the legislation before it's brought to the floor.
We will get the job done, as we always do.
But with the opposition from a number of Republicans, Johnson may have to rely on Democrats to help make the bill a reality. California Democrat Congressman Pete Aguilar says he expects that.
House Republicans are going to need our votes, so we look forward to working with them.
This is what the 1,500-page CR looks like. So lawmakers need to get through all of this to avoid a funding lapse. And the House and the Senate have until the end of the day, Friday. Reporting in Washington, I'm Basil John.
All right, well, TikTok's fight to stay in the U.S. continues. Yesterday, they asked the U.S. Supreme Court to block a law that would ban the social media app. And now the Supreme Court says they will hear arguments next month over the federal law. That law is set to go into effect on January 19th. It does require TikTok's Chinese owner to sell the platform to an American company or be banned. That's because there are concerns about the Chinese government's influence over the app. The Supreme Court will hear arguments on January 10th. Originally, TikTok said it wanted the court to hear arguments by January 6th. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We are showing you a live look outside right now from the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. 65 degrees out there, 12:13 is your time. Freddie says things are going to cool off. Well, you said he was on the nice list. He's on my, actually, naughty list.
We'll go back to that in
a little
bit.
Yeah. But first, a controversial development could soon have access to water. Mayor Salt Springs has faced a lot of pushback on a proposed line connecting the development to Lake Travis.
We are going to check in now with KXAN senior science reporter Eric Henriksen. He is joining us live in Bee Cave at the moment. And Eric, remind us about what landowners' concerns were about this proposal.
Yeah, well, the Mayor Salt Springs development aims to set the gold standard for future developments in the Texas Hill Country. The green development is based on the Pedernales River in western Travis County. Last month, the West Travis County Public Utility Agency agreed to a water service line extension out to the development. Now, this is part of a pushback they have seen from landowners concerned that this development will pull water from nearby wells and groundwater in the aquifers beneath and river water. As part of the agreement with the West Travis County Public Utility Agency, to get this water service line, Mayor Salt Springs has to cut off all their prior permits for those water accesses. This is groundwater, this is river water. The concern was to drain the nearby springs that this groundwater was pumped out, and this includes Hamilton Pool, which is one of the areas Travis County Commissioner's Court was worried about. Now, moving forward with this service line, which was approved in October, initially the proposal was sent in September, there was a pushed in October, that was delayed till November, now approved in November. Part of this agreement is that they have to have access from the utility to the developer to see if there's any use of groundwater. If there is use of groundwater, they'll have 60 days to adjust for that groundwater, cut it off, or they're going to lose service from the Public Utility Agency. Now, later today at 1 o'clock here at Bee Cave City Hall, there's going to be the final ink on paper to determine will Mayor Salt Springs move forward with this proposal, and if so, that means they'll have access to water out in this development in western Travis County. Back to you guys.
All right, Eric, looking sharp out there. Thank you so much. It's going to be getting chilly. We hear from Freddie. I've got a little sass.
He shared a little detail there, but let's explain this. Let's go into this a little bit more deeply about maybe why he might be on the naughty list in your opinion.
He's on my naughty list because he said he asked where he could buy coal last hour. We were talking about Christmas, and he said, where can I buy coal when I talked about bringing my Christmas gift?
No. Because let's be clear, because just moments ago, Jayla was kind of rubbing it in our faces, and she was, this was her Friday.
Oh, so. Whatever.
Right.
That doesn't warrant coal.
No. I don't appreciate that. Something I do appreciate, though, is that the holidays are here. We keep saying Christmas, but don't forget, next Wednesday is also the first day of Hanukkah, especially later out towards the evening. That's when it starts. So we're looking at about 72 degrees for day one of Hanukkah itself. So keep that in mind if you're making any plans. And then there's a great event that's going to be happening on next Thursday in Fredericksburg. They'll be lighting the menorah there, and I'll have an interview next week that you definitely want to tune into to get more details about the event itself. All right. Clouds and radar at this point. We have the front that is finally pushed through. Clearer skies behind it with all the rainfall well down towards the south. I'll zoom out a bit more so you can see where the rainfall is at this point, down into San Antonio, into Houston, and then moving closer towards Corpus and Kingsville. They're going to be the next ones to receive that front, and then the Rio Grande Valley will receive that later on in the evening itself, with current temperatures now at about 56 degrees in Mason County, 60 degrees in Fredericksburg, 61 in Dripping Springs, 63 in Austin, and Bastrop at 61 in LaGrange currently at about 61 degrees as well. Play out the front, and you're noticing clear skies. That's not changing. It's going to remain clear throughout the day today into tonight, and that reason that it's going to be so cold tonight is because of the no cloud coverage. We're going to see temperatures drop pretty quickly, so even by the next couple of hours, 62, 63, that's it. I don't foresee our temperatures really moving past that. Our high of 67, that was this morning. And now the front has come through. We are only getting up to about 62, and then by 6 p.m., we're back down into the 50s, and then early morning hours, we're down into the 30s. It's going to be a cold one. All the rain, that's pretty much pushed through. It's gone, and the clear skies will continue all day long, not only today, but tomorrow and the following day as well. So we'll start off in the 30s tomorrow. We'll move up to the 40s as we get to about 9 a.m. As we get out towards about 1 p.m., we're back up to about 60, and then tomorrow it's only up to about 64 to 65 degrees. No real big changes there. Your 7-day forecast, 65 for tomorrow, 65 for Friday, 63 on Saturday. First day of winter, by the way. Then we get out towards Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Temperatures start to warm up. As we get into Christmas, we're looking at about 72 degrees.
Welcome back, everybody. Taking a live look outside right now from COTA. The sky is looking gorgeous out there, which is kind of stunning when it was just literally pouring rain this morning.
It is beautiful right now.
Absolutely love it. 65 degrees. We're going to check in with Freddie. Yes, we still love you, Freddie. We'll get an update on our forecast here in just a bit. But first, body cameras are coming to Walmart, and this is really interesting because usually you're used to police officers wearing body cameras.
Right.
They're going to be letting their employees wear them.
Yeah. Stores participating in this pilot program have signs at entry points advising shoppers about this. A spokesperson for the company, though, wrote, quote, "While we do not talk about the specifics of our security measures, we are always looking at new and innovative technology used across the retail industry." That spokesperson did not name the market testing body cameras, but CNBC reports that employees at a Denton store in North Texas are now wearing them.
Well, if your Christmas wish list includes a weekend getaway or a live concert, we got some good news for you. By the middle of April, businesses will have to disclose the all-in total price for any live event tickets or short-term lodging. The Federal Trade Commission said yesterday that it finalized the rule that could save you up to 53 million hours of wasted time every single year spent searching for the total price. The rule does not prohibit businesses, though, from adding fees, nor does it limit the amount of fees that they can charge.
Union workers at Starbucks voted to authorize a strike. Yesterday, Starbucks Workers United said that 98% of union baristas voted to authorize the strike as they seek a contract with the coffee giant. It comes as both sides are slated to meet for their latest scheduled bargaining session of the year. In February, Starbucks and the union said they would work on a foundational framework to reach a collective bargaining agreement for the stores. However, the relations between the two parties may again be cooling, with the union claiming the company has not yet proposed a comprehensive package that would address barista pay and other benefits. In a statement to CNBC, Starbucks disputed the union's characterization and said the company remains committed to reaching an agreement.
In-depth, investigative. This is KXAN News at Noon.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to KXAN News at Noon. We're showing you a live look right now overlooking downtown. Oh my goodness! Did you guys hear that?
Just trying to get you there.
With a little
got emotional
dust in my
because of
throat.
how beautiful it was out there.
Yeah, or just because I'm working with y'all. Because I love you guys so much.
Thank you.
That was a nice turnaround there. I
Yeah,
appreciate
was
that
that an
too.
olive branch for earlier?
You know what? Look, I'm trying to play nice, Freddie. Trying to play nice.
It's never too late to be nice, right?
It is.
Never too late to make the nice list.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go. I was about to say, I was going to say you were wearing white after Labor Day and during winter, but, that's fine.
Cut the mic. We got to go.
I'll let that go. Hey, by the way, it is pretty dry outside, just as dry as my humor right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at what dew points are at this point. We've actually been able to see the dry conditions across a majority of the area from Austin farther up. Look, we're down into the 30s and, once you get out towards Llano, Mason, 36 in Fredericksburg, but then down into the 50s. So we still have the moisture there. It's just a majority of it is now starting to push through. And that's that drier, cooler air that's starting to settle in across most of the northern central part of Texas. That continues through, and then the front, when it finally pushes all the way through, we're expecting the dry air to really settle in. So that's going to be a bit of concern, especially for any fires that are out there, because the drier conditions and not enough rainfall and the continuous drought, all that mixed in together, plus the strong winds, the recipe for disaster. We look at clouds and radar at this point. There goes the front, already pushed all the way through with the sunnier skies right behind it itself. But it's the windy conditions that I mentioned earlier. We're still seeing some of the strong winds pushing through. Notice how we have about 24 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts in many spots, including downtown now. They were spared from it just a little while ago, but that has now picked up. Live look from COTA right now. Still looking beautiful with temperatures at this point. 63 in Austin, 64 in San Marcos, Fredericksburg at 62, Georgetown at 63, and Bastrop at around 61 degrees. So what's ahead now that the front has come through? How cold will it be tonight, and what can we expect for the big game over the weekend? We have that coming up in your first warning weather.
All right, Freddie, thank you. Well, are the plans to make Austin more affordable doing what our leaders promised?
Yeah, the HOME initiative was part of the city's push to increase the number of places for people to live and ideally drive down prices. Now those groups that were so against these changes are asking, what do the numbers show? KXAN's Grace Reeder gives us an in-depth look into that data.
It's a City of Austin initiative intended to incentivize the creation of more housing. We're talking about the Home Initiative. You may remember that starting last year, a coalition of groups actually rallied against it, including Go Austin, Vamos Austin, or GAVA. That's a nonprofit that works to improve East Austin communities.
It plays into an oversimplified perception of supply and demand and increasing supply in housing, which is important but can be really folly without nuance and specificity of what kind of housing we're trying to produce, without any kinds of affordability requirements.
Now, as applications roll in under Home, you should be able to analyze the impact yourself. But as we talk to those groups that have been so vocal against Home Tuesday, they say they've struggled to get the data.
I think it's important for us to look geographically at where they have fallen. I know they've been all over the city, but like, what are we seeing? Where are we seeing it? And what are we getting?
What we do know is that between Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the Home Initiative, more than 260 applications have been submitted as of Monday. The city does have some data on that on its Home website, and each application is technically public record if you know where to look. And that frankly required the help of the Development Services Department, who provided me 264 folder names Tuesday evening, which all need to plug into this database individually. I'm doing that for you, trying to answer some of the questions that these groups are seeking answers on.
We should be getting some numbers on that. Right now, we have nothing from what I can see. It's left to the citizens to do their own calculations.
The city's Development Services Department says they're working on it too, though, and a compilation of data will be included in a report that comes out in February. Grace Reeder, KXAN News.
All right, toll road changes in Austin mean about 650 people will soon be without a job. This comes after TxDOT moved its text tag toll billing customer service operations to the Harris County Toll Road Authority. And now T-Tech Holdings Incorporated, a Colorado-based tech company that was providing call center services for TxDOT, is going to be laying off employees at 2 of its offices. Our partners at the Austin Business Journal report that it'll happen in February. And this will impact an entire division at an operations center in Northeast Austin. Now, we told you about the shift in management last month. For years, KXAN investigators reported on text tag billing and customer service issues. The Harris County Toll Road Authority did take over those services in Austin back on December 2nd, and we've got to look at other changes to that billing process right now on KXAN.com.
You can help keep a neighbor's lights on by participating in Austin's Gift of Comfort program. This allows you to pick someone who may struggle to pay their energy bill, and you can contribute any amount using a check or a money order. An Austin Energy spokesperson told us this, quote, "Our number of givers last year struggled to reach double digits, so we're hoping to get the program some more publicity." On our website right now, we have a link to the payment form and an address to mail that to, as well as a link to Austin's Utilities Customer Assistance Program that has the same concept as the GIFT program but operates all year long.
All right, well, since they first arrived on Austin streets in 2018, the ride hasn't always been smooth for electric scooters, to say the least. The city has changed some of those rules, though, so people can continue to use the micro mobility, but just now in a safer way.
About 6 months ago, the city did limit the number of scooters allowed. Our Sam Stark breaks down how that move changed ridership and looks at other potential changes that could come soon.
Scooters in Austin.
I kind of have a love-hate relationship with them.
Many have complicated feelings about them. While they provide an easy way to get around town, cluttered sidewalks of waiting scooters have irked people for years.
It doesn't really work if all the scooters and all the bikes are just on the sidewalks anyways. So, and then it just creates more traffic.
6 months ago, the Austin Transportation Department limited the number of e-scooters citywide from 8,700 to 6,700. In a memo, the department said that move decreased ridership down by around 9% citywide and 14% downtown. But the city called the reduction promising, reducing the number of scooters blocking walkways and only minimally impacting vendors.
Anytime you have a lot of pedestrians, a lot of vehicles, and a lot of micromobility devices, the possibility for something bad to happen just goes up.
And that's one of the reasons the transit department is looking at lowering speed limits from 15 miles per hour to 10 in busy areas of downtown such as Rainey Street and 6th Street. A move Austin and Travis County EMS said might make those areas safer.
I don't think a lot of people realize 15 miles an hour is pretty quick, especially when you are completely unprotected, right? The faster you go on one of those things, the worse the potential outcome could be if something goes wrong.
Sam Stark, KXAN News.
Well, these issues are not exclusive to Austin. A 2021 National Transportation Safety Board study said that e-scooter data challenges across the country are impacting crash records. The reasons were a lack of complete, accurate, or consistent data coding that does not specify if it was an e-scooter crash, and bad quality when it comes to trip data.
There is some progress in bringing the Wishbone Bridge, named for its shape, over Lady Bird Lake. It's changing traffic patterns for drivers and joggers too at the moment. Beginning today, drivers along South Pleasant Valley Road will see traffic lanes shifted and go down to one lane in each direction. People using the hike and bike trail will also be redirected to the east side of Pleasant Valley. Check out these photos showing the progress on that project. Crews started working on the bridge earlier this year, and work should be completed by May.
On a bright Hawaiian Christmas day, that's the island greeting that we sang.
Oh, stop. I'm absolutely obsessed. This is Miss Powell's second grade class at Sunfield Elementary in Buda. The video we're showing you from yesterday, the little ones performing a Hawaiian Christmas song. Data shows while there is more teacher diversity now, it is happening at a slow pace across the country, including here in Texas. According to the Texas Education Agency, less than 1% of Texas teachers are Pacific Islander heritage. That is the lowest percentage of representation across all minority groups here in Texas. There are more Black and Latino teachers, but data shows those groups are still underrepresented. And research shows teachers of color can produce positive academic, social, emotional, and behavioral outcomes for all students, regardless of race.
It is a concern. We just do our best, making sure that our campus principals and our hiring supervisors know that you have to look beyond how can they relate to your student.
Now, according to the National Council on Teacher Quality, the racial diversity of the teaching workforce is growing at a slower pace than the racial diversity of college-educated adults. The NTCQ does hope that its research can help guide districts to improve diversity.
3 movies with some Texas ties will now be a part of an effort to preserve American film heritage. They're being added to the National Film Registry at the Library of Congress. The 2024 list has 25 new films in part of it. That includes the 1974 version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, along with Spy Kids and No Country for Old Men. Oof. The Library of Congress says more than 6,700 titles were submitted for consideration. That was a little scary there.
Yeah.
All 3 of those movies were actually shot here in the Lone Star State. 2 of those films also have writers and directors from Austin.
I'm going to need a little disclaimer from our producers next time if we're going to show
Heads
Michael.
up, everybody, yeah.
Oh, Lord. All right. This next video proves that being a mama's boy transcends all species. That is just a great intro that our producer Alicia wrote there. Check out this cute video of a baby capybara snuggling up with his mom at the San Antonio Zoo.
Oh.
I know. The zoo posted this video yesterday, but it happened earlier this month. As soon as the mother rolled over, her son followed suit, snuggling closer to her. The San Antonio Zoo says that he is the first capybara born there since 2000. And fun fact, capybaras are the world's largest rodents, weighing about 108 pounds. And no, that is not Glenn Powell there with that capybara, although he has even joked himself and says, they sort of look alike.
Austin's own, yeah.
Austin's own, yeah.
It is very adorable. I love seeing stuff like that. Hey, you know, I love seeing the photos that you guys posted. Make sure you guys follow Jayla on Instagram. She posted a really good picture of her and Will. I think it's great. I was not in the photo. but they weren't. I think
Freddie,
it was
I was going to
fantastic.
post a cute video of all of us after the show. You didn't even give me a chance.
And now, just watch. She's going to go on Instagram and she's going to clip all the times I picked on her today
Oh
and
my
put it in a
gosh.
super clip.
No,
You know
I'm
what?
not
I can see
petty.
that happening.
I'm not going to do that today. It's almost the holidays. I'm on the nice list. So.
Yeah, you are. I love it. Hey, you know, I also really like that UT is going to play this Saturday. We actually have our forecast, 63 degrees for kickoff. By the halftime, we're looking at about 60 degrees. It's going to be nice and calm for the weekend itself. But look at your 7-day forecast. I mean, really can't complain for the first half. Once we get to the second half, we're looking at temperatures at 70 to 72 degrees. But in all kidding aside, I really enjoy working with Jayla and Will. You know, it's a lot of fun. Thank you guys for making the year so fantastic.
Aw,
This is a good way to spend Wednesday.
It was.
It really is.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me hang, guys.
Yeah,
Love y'all.
and we'll look out for your Instagram here in just a little bit. All right, everybody, thank you for watching this afternoon. We will see you back in about half an hour for another news and weather update. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Take care.